The United Kingdom has remained a staunch ally of Ukraine since the onset of the conflict with Russia. The UK government, under both Boris Johnson and subsequently Rishi Sunak, has provided substantial military and humanitarian aid to Ukraine. This unwavering support is rooted in the UK's commitment to upholding international law and defending democratic values against aggression. The UK's position reflects a broader consensus among Western nations that Russia's actions constitute a grave breach of international norms and demand a united response. The UK's commitment to Ukraine extends beyond material support, encompassing diplomatic efforts to rally international pressure on Russia. The UK has been at the forefront of imposing sanctions on Russia and providing Ukraine with a platform to make its case on the global stage. This multifaceted approach underscores the UK's determination to hold Russia accountable for its actions and to see a just and lasting peace in Ukraine. The UK's unwavering support for Ukraine stems from a deep-seated belief in the importance of upholding democracy and sovereignty. The UK sees the conflict in Ukraine as a pivotal moment in history where the principles of self-determination and territorial integrity are being challenged. The UK's response is a reflection of its enduring commitment to these principles and its determination to stand with those who fight for freedom and democracy. The UK's position on the Ukraine conflict is also shaped by its historical ties to the region and its understanding of the geopolitical stakes involved. The UK recognizes that Russia's aggression poses a threat not only to Ukraine, but to the wider European security architecture. By supporting Ukraine, the UK seeks to deter further Russian expansionism and to safeguard the stability of the European continent. Keir Starmer, leader of the UK's Labour Party, has been a vocal critic of former US President Donald Trump's stance on the war in Ukraine. Starmer has accused Trump of being naive in his understanding of the conflict and of making comments that embolden Russian President Vladimir Putin. Starmer's criticisms highlight the stark contrast between the approaches of the UK's two main political parties to the Ukraine crisis. Starmer has specifically taken aim at Trump's past praise for Putin, arguing that such rhetoric emboldens the Russian leader and undermines efforts to hold him accountable for his actions. Starmer has also criticized Trump's ambiguity on the issue of continued US aid to Ukraine, suggesting that such uncertainty only serves to embolden Putin and weaken the West's resolve. Starmer's criticisms reflect a broader concern among many in the UK that Trump's stance on Ukraine is out of step with the UK's own unwavering support for the country. Starmer's criticisms of Trump are not limited to his past statements, but also extend to his potential future actions. Starmer has expressed concern that a second Trump presidency would be detrimental to the transatlantic alliance and would embolden Putin's aggression in Ukraine. Starmer's warnings highlight the high stakes of the 2024 US presidential election and the potential global ramifications of a Trump victory. Starmer's strong stance against Trump's position on Ukraine is indicative of the Labour Party's broader commitment to internationalism and multilateralism. Starmer has repeatedly stressed the importance of working with international partners to address global challenges, including the conflict in Ukraine. His criticisms of Trump reflect a belief that the former president's America First approach undermines these efforts and weakens the West's ability to confront shared threats. Donald Trump's comments on the Ukraine war have been marked by a combination of ambiguity and praise for Russian President Vladimir Putin. This approach has drawn criticism from both Democrats and Republicans in the United States, as well as from international leaders. Critics argue that Trump's rhetoric undermines efforts to hold Russia accountable for its actions and emboldens Putin's aggression. Trump's ambiguity on the issue of continued US aid to Ukraine has been a particular point of contention. During his presidency, Trump withheld military aid to Ukraine while pressuring the Ukrainian government to investigate his political rivals. This move, which led to Trump's first impeachment, raised concerns about his commitment to supporting Ukraine against Russian aggression. Trump has also repeatedly praised Putin, describing him as a strong leader and expressing admiration for his leadership style. These comments, often made in the context of criticizing US foreign policy, have raised concerns that Trump is too willing to overlook Putin's human rights abuses and disregard for international norms. Trump's comments on Ukraine reflect a broader pattern of skepticism towards US alliances and a willingness to cozy up to authoritarian leaders. This approach, which has been described as America First, has alienated many of the United States' traditional allies and emboldened its adversaries. In a powerful demonstration of solidarity with Ukraine, Keir Starmer, the leader of the UK's Labour Party, embarked on a visit to Kiev, the nation's capital. This visit underscored the unwavering commitment of the Labour Party to standing with Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression. Starmer's presence in Kyiv sent a clear message that the UK's support for Ukraine transcended partisan divides, uniting the nation in its condemnation of Russia's actions. During his visit, Starmer held a significant meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, a figure who has become a global symbol of resilience and resistance in the face of adversity. The meeting between the two leaders was more than just a symbolic gesture. It provided a platform for substantive discussions about the ongoing conflict and the UK's role in supporting Ukraine's fight for freedom. Starmer's visit to Kyiv was not merely about reaffirming the UK's commitment to providing military and humanitarian aid, it was about demonstrating solidarity with the Ukrainian people. Starmer's presence in Kyiv, a city that has borne the brunt of Russia's aggression, sent a powerful message to the Ukrainian people that they were not alone in their struggle. The visit also served as an opportunity for Starmer to witness firsthand the devastating impact of the conflict on Ukraine and its people. By seeing the destruction and hearing the stories of those affected by the war, Starmer gained a deeper understanding of the human cost of the conflict, further solidifying his commitment to supporting Ukraine's fight for peace and freedom.